A gathering such as this is such a source of both sadness and yet pride. The Jewish community here in Chicago has come together, obviously on such short notice. It's just another example of how Chicago is a leading Jewish community, role model, and sets an example. For more than 4 decades, we have been honored to have one of the great leaders of our community, Dr. B Nasatir, who has guided the Jewish United Fund of Federation to be such a source of chesed and tzedakah that benefits literally our entire community and communities beyond us as a role model for true Jewish kindness, compassion, generosity, and philanthropy. We're honored to have with us Dr. B Nasatir, President of the Jewish United Fund of Jewish Federation.
Thank you, Rabbi, for the very, very kind introduction. I also want to thank the Chabad of Illinois for convening this evening's solidarity gathering on literally a moment's notice. And reaching out to JUF Federation and other Jewish organizations tonight to come together in a display of Jewish solidarity. On Shabbos morning of last day of Pesach, Lori Gilbert came to shul to say Kaddish for her mother. It was a mitzvah for her to do so, and Lori was utterly devoted to her congregation, so there was nowhere else she would have rather been. By contrast, every last person who is here this evening wishes we were somewhere else. How many times must we be gathered to mourn? How many times must we cry out against the darkness? How many times must we come together to stand in solidarity against anti-Semitism and hate? Today we mourn the senseless murder of an Eshes Kayal in prayer outside San Diego. 1 week ago, we mourned a series of horrific bombings in Sri Lanka that massacred hundreds of Christians in prayer. 6 months ago, we mourned the slaughter of 11 Jews in Pittsburgh, davening together on Shabbos. Together, our hearts are broken, but our resolve is stronger than ever. We will not be intimidated in our synagogues. We will not be frightened away from participating in Jewish life and community. Our Chicago synagogues and schools, community centers, and communal agencies will always remain hubs of Jewish life and learning, centers of warmth and hospitality. It is my pledge to you all that JUF's continued multifaceted security assistance program for all of Chicago's Jewish institutions will continue to help make that a certainty. Once we all thought we had overcome the scourge of anti-Semitism in America, but this horrendous evil is back, and it is back with ferocity. We face new and deadly forms of this old and contemptible hatred where Jews are demonized, targeted, and attacked just because we are Jews. Frankly, this violence and hate for Jews takes our breath away. It is unacceptable anywhere, but especially in our beloved America. Whether it's last week's appalling cartoon in the New York Times that promoted textbook images of anti-Semitism, a cartoon that would have done Der Stürmer proud, or social media platforms filled with anti-Semitic garbage, or elected officials who perniciously accuse Jews of dual loyalty and depict Jews lusting after wads of cash, or bigots who call Jews termites. It is time for all of us to wake up. All eyes must be open to see how this hate-filled extremes, both on the far right and on the far left, can find common ground in hating Jews. Anti-Semitism is the world's oldest hatred, the canary in the mine of human decency. We must preserve the flow of oxygen to that human decency across our community, across our country, and across the globe. We must reinsert the values that we hold dear as Jews, as Americans, and as people of faith. We are here to affirm that we will not surrender to fear, we will not surrender to hate, we will not surrender to destructive divisiveness, and we will not indulge or ignore or overlook those sowing seeds of division, regardless of their office or pulpit. No more equivocation or exemptions. No more tolerating incitement, and no more silence in the face of hate. It is particularly poignant and painful that this week we will commemorate Yom HaShoah, when we honor the memories of the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust while so many were silent. This darkest chapter of Jewish history shows us that hateful words lead to hateful deeds. It warns us that those who hate cannot be appeased. And it shows us that if we do stand up and defend the Jewish people, no one else will. The Rebbe, may he rest in peace, had an amazing capacity to articulate the profound in the most accessible ways. After a terror attack on Kfar Chabad in the 1950s, he instructed his followers not to move from the site of that terrible tragedy. He said, "In continuity lies consolation." It's an idea that inspires the Jewish people to this day. And so we stand here tonight in grief, but also in solidarity, in reaffirmation of Jewish unity, and in affirmation of the words of Rabbi Yisrael Goldstein: we are strong, we are united, they cannot break us.